Chapter 3 Acids, Bases and Salts. Acids. An acid is a substance that produces hydrogen ions H+ when placed in water. When acids or ionic compounds are dissolved in water, the ions split apart from each other, that is dissociation. You can see hydrochloric acid dissociates into chloride ions and H+ ions. Properties of acids. Most acids taste sour, react with many metals to form hydrogen gas, are corrosive, appear to eat away materials while reacting, have a chemical formula that begins with H hydrogen. Zinc metal plus hydrochloric acid gives hydrogen gas and zinc chloride. Common acids. Citric acid, found in citrus fruits, used as preservative. Lactic acid, found in yogurt, produced by our muscles when they are overworked. Acetic acid, vinegar, used as a preservative. Carbonic acid or phosphoric acid, found in soft drinks. Hydrochloric acid, HCl, that is found in our stomach, aids in food digestion. Bases. A base is a substance that produces hydroxide ion OH- ion when placed in water. When bases or ionic compounds are dissolved in water, the ions split apart from each other, that is dissociation. NaOH splits into Na+ and OH-. Properties of bases. Most bases taste bitter, feel slippery, are corrosive, appears to eat away materials while reacting, have a chemical formula that ends with OH. Common bases: ammonia, cleaners and fertilizers, sodium hydroxide used in soaps and drain cleaners, magnesium hydroxide, an ingredient found in antacids. Indicators. Indicators are used to determine if a substance is an acid or a base. An indicator changes a specific color when in the presence of an acid or a base. Litmus paper. Indicator made of a special filter paper that contains dyes extracted from lichens, the crusty stuff that grows in rocks. Blue litmus turns red in an acid. Red litmus turns blue in a base. Why do you think it's important to test an unknown substance with both types of litmus paper? Answer: if one type of litmus paper does not change color, that does not guarantee that the other type of litmus paper will change color. That may be water. pH. The pH scale can also help us classify solutions as acidic or basic solutions. pH is a measure of the amount of H+ ions in a solution, that is potential hydrogen. The more H+ ions, the lower the pH, the more acidic the solution. pH scale. The pH scale is used to classify solutions as acidic or basic. It ranges from 0 to 14. Acids having a pH from 0 to 6.9. Neutral pH is 7, that is distilled water. And bases having a pH 7.1 to 14. pH paper or digital pH meters can be used to determine the pH. Strength versus concentration. When describing acids and bases, strength and concentration do not mean the same thing. Strength refers to the ability of the acid or base to dissociate in solution. pH measures this. Dissociation refers to the ability of an ionic compound to break apart into ions. concentration refers to the amount of acid-base dissolved in solution. An acid or base will have the same pH regardless of how concentrated it is. Just because you add water to dilute it, it is still going to have the same amount of H plus ions. They will just be spread out more. Strong or weak acids and bases. When a strong acid or base dissolves in water, nearly all the acid or base molecules will dissociate into ions. The greater the ability to dissociate, the more potential the acid or base has for being dangerous because there are more ions available to react. When a weak acid or base dissolves in water, only a small fraction of the acid or base molecules dissociate partially. With the less ions in solution, there is less potential of danger because there are less ions available to react. Strong or weak acids examples. Strong acid, HCl, hydrochloric acid. It's also called stomach acid, H2SO4, sulfuric acid, battery acid, HNO3, nitric acid. Then weak acids, HC2, H3O2, that is acetic acid, vinegar, H3C6H5O7, citric acid, that is in citrus fruits like lemon, orange, etc. Strong or weak bases examples. Strong bases, NaOH, sodium hydroxide, any alkali or alkaline earth metal with OH, that is KOH, potassium hydroxide. Then weak bases, aluminum hydroxide, often found in deodorants, ammonium hydroxide, used in many cleaning products, also known as ammonia. Neutralization. Neutralization is a chemical reaction between an acid and a base that takes place in a water solution. When acids and bases react, the H plus ions from the acid react with the OH minus ions from the base to form HOH, that is H2O water. The overall pH becomes neutral. Many people that suffer from the heartburn will take antacids to ease their symptoms, that is tums. How do you think antacids work? The stomach is acidic due to the HCl and antacids are basic. Milk of magnesia is a material present in antacid, that is magnesium hydroxide. Here a neutralization reaction occurs. Salts. The ions that are left behind after the H plus and OH minus ions form water, combine to form a salt. A salt is a compound that forms when the negative ions from the acids combine with the positive ions from the base. Acid plus base gives water plus salt. Example, hydrochloric acid plus potassium hydroxide give water plus potassium chloride. That is HCl plus KOH gives H2O plus KCl. What type of reaction is a neutralization reaction? It's a double displacement reaction. Name the salt produced in this neutralization reaction, potassium chloride. Here is a summary of the lesson from your textbook. What you have learned: acid-base indicators are dyes or mixtures of dyes which are used to indicate the presence of an acid or a base. Acidic nature of a substance is due to the formation of H plus aqueous ions in solution. Formation of OH minus aqueous ions in solution is responsible for the basic nature of the substance. When an acid reacts with a metal, hydrogen gases evolve and a corresponding salt is formed. When a base reacts with a metal, along with the evolution of hydrogen gas, a salt is formed which has a negative ion composed of the metal and oxygen. When an acid reacts with a metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate, it gives the corresponding salt, carbon dioxide gas and water. Acidic and basic solutions in water conduct electricity because they produce hydrogen and hydroxide ions respectively. The strength of an acid or an alkali can be tested by using a scale called the pH scale, that is ranges from 0 to 14, which gives the measure of hydrogen ion concentration in a solution. A neutral solution has a pH of exactly 7, while an acidic solution has a pH less than 7 and a basic solution a pH more than 7. Living beings carry out their metabolic activities within an optimal pH range. Mixing concentrated acids or bases with water is highly exothermic process, heat releasing process. Acids and bases neutralize each other to form corresponding salt and water. Water of crystallization is the fixed number of water molecules chemically attached to each formula unit of a salt in its crystalline form. CuSO4.5H2O is an example. Salt have various uses in everyday life and in industries. Thank you all.